Guys, chances are if you're watching this video, you hate what you look like. You want that shredded, aesthetic Greek god physique, but you don't know how to get there. If you don't know me already, my name is James. I'm a 22-year-old online fitness coach, and a year ago, I made the decision to get shredded. 10% body fat, and I told myself I wanted to maintain that for as long as I could, the rest of my life. And chances are, if you don't have that physique yet, it's because you don't know how to get there. And what I'm going to tell you is that it's not enough to just be in a calorie deficit, just to do cardio, just to work out and lift heavy. Those are just the basics. What people don't talk about is the other stuff, the actual way that you get there. And it starts with your mind. You need to understand in your mind that you have to become the person capable of being shredded before you can ever get there. You have to develop the work ethic that it takes to get there. See, being in a calorie deficit is only a part of the puzzle. It's not everything. You have to have the mindset of someone who is already shredded. Put yourself in the shoes of the person that you want to become. The person you want to become, they do their cardio consistently. They eat whole, healthy foods all the time. They eat at least 90% clean, 10% unhealthy. And they actually show up to the gym, not just on the days that they want to go, but on every day, even the days that they don't feel like it. That's the person you need to become before you can ever become that person. It's not talked about enough, the mindset that you have to have in order to get there. See, getting and maintaining 10% body fat is easy if you have the right structure and you actually follow a proven routine to get there. It doesn't take so much brainstorming. It doesn't take the craziest workout plan, meal plan. In fact, you can eat foods that you like and still get to 10% body fat. The thing that I find with most men is that they think they have to eat everything that they don't like to eat. Superfoods, veggies, fruits. You know, so many guys come to me and they tell me that they want to get in shape and that they're just going to throw themselves into only eating salads every single day. And they don't even like salads. They're going to make themselves eat veggies that they don't like, fruits that they don't like, and they think that that is what is going to get them shredded. The way that you get shredded, outside of the mindset, but the actual way to get there, you find your maintenance calories. I use a TDEE calculator, total daily energy expenditure, and I subtract 500 calories from whatever that says. For me, my maintenance is about 3,000. So if I want to cut right now, I would put myself at a 2,500 calorie meal plan. And that's how I would do it. If you're in a 500 calorie deficit for an entire week, that is 3,500 calories that you are burning, okay? And what I want you to understand is that there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So if I was in a 500 calorie deficit for 7 days a week, that's 3,500 calories. That is 1 pound of fat per week that I will be burning. Guys, I want you to understand it doesn't have to be complicated. You can eat 2,500 calories of foods that you like as long as you are hitting your protein intake. Your protein intake has to be at least 1 gram per pound that you weigh when you want to get to your dream physique. If you want to get to a goal weight of 180, you have to be eating minimum 180 grams of protein. If you want to get to 200 grams of protein minimum. This is to ensure that you actually build muscle and keep the muscle that you already have while you are cutting. If you don't maintain this level of protein and you go on a cut and you barely even work out, you're just gonna get skinny fat. No one wants to look skinny fat. Skinny fat is when you just don't have any muscle, but yet you're still a little bit overweight. I want you to understand you have to be maintaining that level of protein if you want to get bigger while losing weight. It's possible. You can build muscle while shredding fat. That's how you get to 10% body fat. If you do it for a long enough time, you give yourself the opportunity to be in a calorie deficit for a substantial amount of time until you lose the desired weight, or you look at yourself in the mirror and you're finally proud of what you look like. Guys, I want you to understand 10% body fat isn't a golden number. When you get to that number of 10% body fat, you're not going to magically have these new powers in your life. Your life isn't going to magically change. Guys, There's so many other things that is better than having 10% body fat. Being 15% body fat is what I recommend for most guys because it's healthy enough to maintain. Being 10% body fat, you need to be pretty on point with your calories all the time if you actually want to maintain that sort of body fat. Because even a slight surplus when you're already at 10% body fat is going to have you put on fat, and suddenly you're not going to be 10% body fat anymore. If you want to be 10% body fat, understand it starts in the mind. Align yourself with the person that you want to become 6 months from now. Because the person you want to become 6 months from now, they're shredded. They're at a beach with their lady, their girlfriend, their wife. They're looking shredded. They're looking absolutely diced. And that's the kind of man that you want to become. That's the kind of men that I love to work with. Ones that actually want it so bad. Ones that want to improve themselves beyond belief because it's going to make them confident. It's going to make them secure in themselves. They're not going to be full of insecurity and doubts. They're going to walk into a room and be super excited to show everyone what they've built. They're going to have that masculine. They're going to have their shoulders back and their head is going to be high. That's how you know a masculine and confident man just walked through the door. And when you get the dream physique, you become the man who is confident, who has that security within himself, who is suddenly no longer insecure within himself. If that's the kind of guy you want to become, you have to be able to put yourself through pain. And putting yourself through pain means a calorie deficit, showing up to the gym on the days that you don't feel like it. Tell you what, bro, I'm 10% body fat and I've maintained this for the past 8 months. And I'm going to tell you, I don't feel like showing up to the gym. But when I do show up to the gym on the days that I don't want to, it makes it so much better. Because you get out of that gym, you have those post-workout endorphins flowing. You feel on top of the world. If you want to get to 10% body fat, you have to put yourself through pain. Pain is inevitable. You must conquer the pain of putting yourself through these different tasks in order to get the end result. The end result would mean nothing if you didn't have that pain and you didn't have that discomfort. I'm telling you, there is no shortcut to getting lean. I don't care. Ozempic, peptides, there is nothing that is more satisfying than doing it naturally, putting yourself through the struggles of getting there. And when you get to the other side, you feel like a brand new man. Guys, I want you to get in shape in 2026. This can be the year where you finally show up to the beach with confidence. You aren't scared of taking your shirt off, just as I used to be. I didn't want to take my shirt off because I always thought people were judging me, looking at me, laughing at what I looked like because I had a belly. I had fat around my arms. I had a fat face. But now that I don't have that, I have that confidence within myself that I can do anything I put my mind to. Guys, this is your year. This can be the year you change your entire life. You get shredded. You get jacked. There is nothing that is holding you back right now. There is nothing stopping you from becoming the man you want to become in 2026. Because when you get to that 10% body fat, you're going to be happy. You may not be fully satisfied. You may even want to get even leaner than that. But what I'm going to tell you is that when you get lean enough and you have shredded abs, you have ab veins, quad definition, bicep vein, life's good. There is nothing better than that. And I'm telling you guys that if you want this to be your year, you have to be willing to put yourself through pain. This is going to be it, guys. I believe in all of you. And I think all of you can get to 10% body fat this year if you put your mind to it.